welcome everyone, and welcome to the next podcast in the series Entrepreneurial Mindset, W.P. Carey School of Business. Today I'm very excited actually. Today we have one of my students, Kate Fitzgerald. Kate is a graduate student in Master's Program in Entrepreneurship and Innovation at W.P. Carey. And surprise, 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 she's also an entrepreneur. So Kate used to be, right? The beach sand volleyball player at ASU.
Yes.
Right? Correct.
Yes.
Fantastic. So I got that one right. And then while she was playing volleyball, in her sophomore year, she ended up starting a business. She became an entrepreneur and a lifestyle business around sand volleyball. And without further ado, I'm going to let Kate tell us what that business is all about and tell us a little bit about herself. So Kate, over to you.
Thank you. Well, hi everyone. My name, like you said, is Kate Fitzgerald. I am now studying with a master's degree of MSc and I through W.P. Carey. But I did play beach volleyball here for the last 4 years at ASU. It was an incredible experience, and I'm now actually a student coach for the team for my final year, and it's been an incredible experience. During beach volleyball, for those who aren't familiar with college athletics, there's a thing called NIL, which is name, image, and likeness for student athletes. And when I was going into my sophomore year, NIL rules and regulations blew up. And that is when it completely exploded. And next thing you know, everyone's getting NIL deals, becoming Barstool athletes, Liquid IV, all the above. And I took it as an opportunity. I was like, not all athletes were getting the deals and even still aren't getting the deals that you see advertised nowadays. And I don't have 1 million followers on Instagram or promote Instagram in that way. So I wanted to find an opportunity to create opportunities for myself and other female student athletes, specifically in volleyball, to get NIL deals and receive stuff and kind of close that gender gap there. In high school, I had an idea. I was competing on 4 different club teams, and I was looking for a way to show my passion off the court. And I had an idea for a volleyball lifestyle clothing brand, and I saw NIL change as the perfect opportunity to give it a go while I was in college and while I was playing. So came up with the name for it, VB America. The original idea was VBLL, but trademark, and once I came up with VB America.
What does VB America stand for? What is
Volleyball America.
Volleyball America.
Yeah,
so it's got nothing to do with your name, huh?
No, nothing to do with me. It's its own entity. It's its own thing. Yeah, completely.
So Netflix, I just saw that this NIL thing about LSU athletes, and there's a whole series of how big they are on social media and how much money they're making. 2021 it happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So that series, you just saw that come out, the premiere, which is incredible. I mean, LSU definitely, in my opinion, won that whole NIL break. I mean, they were fortunate with their recruits, and Livy Dunn's incredible. Yeah. She has just completely monetized her platform and taken complete advantage, very smart in the business sense that she made. And then there was Angel Reese, I believe, in basketball. And I think Jaden Daniels is in it, which is crazy because he was here my first 2 years as a quarterback. So,
do you think it is a good thing, NIL?
I do. I am a big proponent of NIL. It's actually a different kind of for my own passion venture that I'm working on about developing a student athlete venture studio for NIL opportunities for ASU athletes. I basically took what I did over the last 2.5, 3 years as an athlete and found, I could have used this resource, or this is what is needed, and where I got it in the university, where I had in the Center of Athletics, and brought it together. So that's been a really cool something I've developed recently that's been awesome. I'm a big proponent of NIL. I think it's a great way for athletes to get real world experience. There is, of course, that 5 to 1%, that's the Livy Dunns or the LSU players of the world. But that's in pro sports, there's only one Serena Williams. And so they, of course, is going to be
But there's only one Kate Fitzgerald too, right?
Thank you. That's very kind.
So that's what I was going to ask you. So when are you going to conquer the world?
No, that's a great question. No, I am enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm taking it one step at a time. But it's been very fun to continue growing with volleyball and the apparel and
Tell us about your background. It's like you said you had this idea about the apparel or the lifestyle business when you were in high school, right?
Yeah.
So were you always wanting to be an entrepreneur, or is it no? Okay,
not at all, actually. So I mean, kind of. I guess you could. I say I was when I was really little. I loved to bake cakes, and I always wanted to have a Kate's cake shop. But no, I wanted to be a nurse for as long as I can remember. In high school, I got my CNA my senior year and took every elective was something around science or nursing. Came into college. I graduated undergrad with a bio degree. And I did, my original plan was to do 3 years, graduate, and do the 1-year accelerator program at ASU. And then junior year, I did this sophomore year, and it truly started as like a passion project. Let me just, instead of working at a restaurant over the summer, I'll hold some pop-ups and that'll be my job.
How did you think about the idea?
Of VB America?
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I thought of the idea, but I kind of blew it off. It was just like my dad and I were talking, and I was like, you don't really have T-shirts you can wear to my volleyball games. Like, there's no, my brothers play sports, and there's like baseballism, or there's so many opportunities. A football player can even wear like an NFL jersey. Like, there's nothing for volleyball. And so I had the idea then, and we were like, yeah, whatever. Even tennis, one of our friends was really high level tennis, and Nike had tennis stuff. So, and then when it came back around, we were actually driving to a family vacation, and everything was getting blown up right on the news of NIL, and I was like, hey, remember that idea I had in high school? And they were like, yeah. I was like, do you think I should try it? And they were like, sure, go for it. Like, you're at ASU.
NIL made you an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. And that's where I think there's a lot of opportunities, because student athletes, your mindset is student athlete. It's your job.
Yeah.
You're working 30 hours a week, basically, with like not NCAA regulations, but with the extra time you put in on your own. And then on top of school, there's not opportunities for student athletes at a high level to get job experience.
Parents complain about this will impact their students, the kids' studies.
Right.
Because if they're so much involved into sports and
right.
stuff. Do you think that's correct?
No. I think sports I think being a student athlete puts people very far ahead. It creates a lot of life skills. I mean,
tell me more about that, because I believe in that.
Yeah.
I used to be a competitive swimmer. I used to play race and water polo and so on and so forth. When I'm at that starting line, when there are butterflies in my stomach.
Yeah.
And when you get over it and when you jump in the water and your muscle memory takes over.
Yeah.
How does it help you as an entrepreneur?
I think this is actually ironic. This was what my whole speech at the end of the year last year was. I did a speech at graduation, and this was it about. I think that there are direct attributes between being a student athlete and being an entrepreneur. They completely overtie. For example, when you're in high school and you're trying to get recruited, you're cold calling coaches and you're exploring different universities, and you're saying, okay, where will I be the best fit? Like, product market fit is the same thing there. And you're learning how to cold call. You're learning how to do interview processes.
That's customer discovery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And at a young age, juniors in high school, I mean, during my time, there was less rules, and I think sophomores were getting recruited, but now it's like a junior, senior in high school at 17 and 18 is doing interviews, basically. They're on a recruitment trip with these coaches, and they're having to interview. Sometimes you're having to negotiate with your scholarship deals. That's where I learned negotiation skills around scholarships with schools and opportunities like with play and all of that. It teaches you very well how to take constructive feedback and criticism. I don't know any college athlete that wouldn't agree with that. How to work along a team, how to be in a position you don't want to be in, or like disagree with your superior, but hey, they're your superior, you got to work through it. It teaches you, there's levels of it, of a senior, of respect for each other, especially, you know, if my team had 25 girls on it around last year, 22, and I respected and loved everyone. Not every single girl you're ever going to play with or person you're going to be with in your life is going to be your best friend. And it teaches you how to still love and respect someone and work with them.
How do you handle stressful situation? How does being an athlete teach you to handle the stressful situation that an entrepreneur deals with it every day?
I swear that I always say, just like, go for it. That's what the biggest thing with stressful situations. There's one thing that I learned that has really changed the way I look at stress.
And give me an example.
Is are you looking for an example with like athletics or with me specifically?
So,
What type of
learning,
example?
yeah, no, that's a great question. So let me, so what I'm asking is, so let's say, for example, a stressful situation, how you prepare as an athlete, a stressful situation, and then you learn those lessons as an athlete,
Yeah.
and then translated that into as an entrepreneurial journey. You came
Right.
across a stressful situation,
Yeah.
and the training from your sports days
Yeah.
helped you overcome it better
Yes.
than somebody else.
I'd say a huge part of a stressful situation and overcoming it is that I learned from athletics is being overwhelmed. Like when you're playing and you're in like at a D1 at the time Pac-12 school, you have practice, you have classes, you have recovery, you have meetings, you have film. So it's like that's stressful. That going and getting everything done in your day and then finding time for your mental health, to get rest, to eat properly, to have a social life, like what people talk about, that's stressful. And you're doing that every day and it teaches you routine. That was a huge thing. In order to be prepared for the like unpredictable or to be more spontaneous, having that ground routine made a huge difference in implementing that in the life. And then it taught me in entrepreneurship with stressful situations is really like, you can always figure it out. You can always like, okay, sometimes let's say you weren't playing and you wanted to get in the lineup, you weren't in the lineup. Do extra trainings, go talk to the coach, see what you need to work on. You're not always going to like the feedback you get. Like, how are you going to move past that? And that's the same thing in entrepreneurship, being told no, honestly. I don't like being told no. I like to figure everything out. And it taught me a lot of ways to like, one, respectfully work with someone to do it, but find another way. Being told no or not getting exactly the response you want or the opportunity you want, and figuring out everything's figureoutable, figuring out how to do it, and that lowers your stress is when you're not like,
So give me an example where you failed.
Oh gosh. Okay. The first failure I completely remember with VB America is my favorite story. We put products in university bookstores. So we licensed with ASU and put our first round of products in the bookstores. Before I put them in the bookstores, I wanted to do a test and make sure all the printing and everything was good. So I held a pop-up shop at a beach volleyball tournament and sold ASU beach volleyball shirts. We put the shirts in the order. I did everything. We get them back day of because I didn't have a lot of time. It was day of that we were getting the shirts that we had to go to the event. Everything was pink. There was not maroon. I typed like 504 instead of 506 or whatever the PMS color was.
Pink.
And it was pink. And I was just like, I don't know what to do. This is so bad. I mean, not bright pink, but it was not maroon, the correct maroon color. And so I went back and forth I called my parents. I was like, what should I do? I called and then finally I was like, the only thing you can do is call the licensing director at ASU and figure out what the next steps are. And that is exactly what I did. I mean, and I learned that from sports. It's like, okay, I haven't been playing well. So I called my coach and I would say, what am I doing wrong? Or what's going on? Or I went and talked with a mental coach and my game and stuff. And so that's what I did when we had that mistake. I called her and we talked through
Where are those
next
pink
steps.
shirts now?
We ended up giving them away. We gave them to friends and family and
They took
players.
it? They all took it?
Yeah. It was just kind of like it was a bonus limited edition shirt. But yeah.
What does your support infrastructure look like? Family, friends, how important are they?
So important. I think you need to have yourself a community and to surround yourself with the right people. This is such a cheesy quote, but it's so true. Like, you become who you surround yourself by. And you want to be able to leave your stress. Everyone has stress in their life of any level or their daily duties or anything, and go to that person, have someone to go to that you can either be like, hey, I need advice. I'm struggling with this and I'm really grateful. My parents are incredible. My brothers are incredible. I've had very close friends come out of college athletics. I have a wonderful boyfriend who's been great, and we're all able to lean on each other and say, okay, this week was rough. I mean, it was every day just like a new challenge came up in work or in school or something. And I think that's really important because you're also then able to have someone to relate to so you don't feel like you're struggling on your own. But I also think it's been nice having those friends. They understand, what I'm doing. I kind of get the gist of what they're doing, but we're not involved in it. So it's still able to be like, this is my thing I'm doing, and we can support each other without being too like, this is what you need to do. It's great.
You had a business that was already running. Why come to the graduate program in entrepreneurship? What were your expectations coming into a program like that?
Yeah, so like I said, I studied biology in undergrad. So I've really been bootstrapping, leaning on mentors and asking people for advice throughout this whole business process. And I wanted to go give myself an opportunity to be in school for a year and be able to lean on ASU's resources without having the time constraints of a student athlete and being in a field of study where I'm actually learning what I want to do with a life and career. I love studying biology, but I quickly junior year realized when I was sitting in my chemistry class thinking about my business, I no longer wanted to do it. Oh, okay. So I came here so I could get some more business class experience, have more opportunities for resources and mentors, and really give myself time to have a year to actually give this everything I have to see where it can prosper to. So I'll know at the end if it's what exactly like this program. You'll know by the end, is this a valuable, like sustainable company?
When you started the business, were you scared?
No, because I did not think I was starting a business. I thought I was just, I was scared because I was 19 and like friends judgmental, I guess, a little bit in that sense. But no, I wasn't scared because I was just like, oh, it's like a drop shop or drop shipping, like so many people do it. It's easy online. It's fun. Yes. Like I didn't think that it was going to become that part of me.
When did you realize?
Well, I guess I didn't never think. I always was like, this can be a big deal. Like I always had written down like a big plan in my notebook. But I guess I do a good balance of big future ideas and also being like, let's just be in the moment and see what the next day is. And I think it was my junior year when I was, like I said, in chemistry classes, and I'd be sitting getting phone calls like for orders and stuff coming in my phone, and I have to walk out of class every 10 minutes to like fulfill an order or talk to someone or talk to a licensing director, that I was like, okay, I need to take this seriously and actually give this a real opportunity, and I'm enjoying this and I could do this. So that's when I would say junior year is when I started to actually focus on it. I'm sure my roommate at the time would agree with me. I kind of went like ghost a bit, but that's when it became real. What is that big plan? The big plan? I can't spill all my secrets. Really...
What's the aspiration?
The ultimate idea is for VB America to be a volleyball community. So inspire a younger generation of girls, work with college athletes, which we're doing right now to create NIL deals, and give them opportunities, then inspire that younger generation, hold camps, t-shirts, and like... The idea with the lifestyle clothing is volleyball is girls are fashionable. So give something to girls and players and fans and enthusiasts that allow them to feel confident, comfortable, stylish while showing their love for a sport they're playing. Guys have that opportunity and girls really don't have that opportunity. And so that's that side of it. And then there's also the gear fulfillment side of, just creating stuff that's more tailored to women athletes. There's women's clothing, and I love, for example, Viore is one of my favorite stores. I love Viore, but I'm tall, and so even the long, sometimes it's just too short, or there's different styles and fits that I want to be able to tackle for female athletes, and then allow fans to show their love for their sport in a fun way that's not a jersey or t-shirt, boxy t-shirt. So, who's your role model? My role model?
Do you have a role model?
Oh, I guess I look up to people in senses. Yes, my parents definitely are definitely big role models for me in every way. I guess in a celebrity sense.
Entrepreneurial sense.
Entrepreneurial
Yeah.
celebrity. This is going to sound really weird, but I can't remember her name right now, but she helped start Skims. So it's not Kim Kardashian. I mean, I actually do think she's a very smart businesswoman. Not all of her lifestyle choices, but I do actually really like her business choices.
Okay.
But she has a partner. She's been on Shark Tank. She started numerous clothing lines.
Okay.
Outside of that, I'm trying to think, entrepreneurial and business. I like Lori from Shark Tank.
Okay.
I think she's really cool. I really like her. I think she's wonderful. Really, this is probably silly because people, I guess, wouldn't consider this entrepreneurial, but I get inspired by Taylor Swift a lot.
Okay.
Which sounds so like, oh, girl of me, but I think she's built such her marketing is what inspires me. I like her music, of course, but I really she has such a unique way of marketing that draws such almost like a cult fan base in. And I think it's so intriguing how she's been able to do that. And I think that's very interesting because there's large platforms and fan bases for everything, but I think that she's done a great job or a unique, different way to market her music that I think is really interesting. And other than that, I don't think I think a lot towards I probably should have more mentors in that sense.
Mentors? Yeah.
Or not mentors.
There's nothing wrong with, the role models.
Role models, yeah.
Role models. So the reason I ask is at times people would aspire, like for example, Steve Jobs, for many of the techies would say Steve Jobs, because they have this, they can relate to the personality or the style or something. So I'm always curious about, is there somebody that, as Steve Jobs used to say, so which part of the universe are you going to make a dent in? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So so for people who are scared that entrepreneurial thing is not my thing, what are you going to tell them?
Okay, I always say go for it. That's all I feel like is that. I know people disagree with this.
Many will say that, that's so easy to say.
No, it's so easy to say. It's so easy to say. I completely agree. But the hardest part is starting. Because everyone is like, okay, you can't say go for it because you need to have the numbers or you need to have the information. But you can't get any of that if you don't start. You can't fail to learn from failing and change if you don't start. Or you can't, someone, even if it's for lack of better terms, bad idea. If it's a really bad business idea, if you're stuck thinking about this bad business idea, you'll never get past it to find the good one. So, just when we started, this was one online business that I do a few pop-up shops for, and now it's into gear fulfillment for large club quantities. So, and I never would have thought of that or got there if I didn't just start that initial idea. So that I know everyone's like, that's such bad advice, just go for it, it's harder, but it truly is if you have something, sit down, write out the idea, write out the plan. Okay, I want this, this, and this to happen. I do this weekly where I'm like, okay, these are my to-do lists. Okay, now to get this done, I have to do A, B, and C. To get that done, you have to do A, B, and C. What day does this need to be done? So it's that simple of, okay, I have this idea or I want to find an idea. Start observing, think of it, or even if it's not completely entrepreneurial, you want to be intrapreneurial, just think of it, write down how you can accomplish that, talk to a few people, and just start doing something for it. I think someone had a great quote. Elon Musk said, if you take your 6-year plan or something like this, it's if you take your 6-year plan and shorten it down into 6 months, you're not going to reach your goal, but you'll be a lot farther than you would have been. And I saw that and I was like, that's so true. If you just go for it,
the quote that I like is what Steve Ballmer once said, sharks die when they stop swimming. So that's actually pretty cool. So I'm like, that's entrepreneurship works out very well.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is, for me, the reason I started my companies is because I did not want to have regrets.
Yes. That's a
So
huge thing.
if I didn't do it today, and if somebody else did it, like for example, if you got scared and you didn't start this company, and down the road some of your friends or some other student coming in ended up creating a lifestyle brand around beach volleyball, then you would not forgive yourself
Exactly.
for the rest of your life.
100%.
So at least you go try. You failed, that's okay, but at least you gave it a best shot.
Yeah.
You won't know the grade till you actually go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I'm big on that. That's great advice. I completely agree with that. I'm big on no regrets. Don't have regrets.
Yeah.
Learn, move on, try something new.
Running the business, what has been your biggest, business challenge?
Business challenge?
Yeah, operational challenge. Some people say, oh my God, my supply chain. I have no idea. Some people will say, I just don't have the right people. Some people will say that I need money.
I mean, you always could use more money. I feel like everyone in business, you can always use more money. If I had a lot more money, that would be great. I don't know anyone that wouldn't agree with that. But probably, honestly, social media, because I don't like it. I'm not a big social media person, which sounds very like, oh shit. I truly just think it wastes my time, and I hate wasting time. Which, like you said, no regrets. My big thing is wasting time. Life's so short and so fast, and I feel like you can get trapped just scrolling on social media and getting lost in comparison and so many different things that I tend to try to take it off my phone and try not to like be around it often. But marketing is social media, so that's where there's been a big issue, because especially while I was playing in the past years and even now, there's so many aspects to building and running the company, and that I think that is the thing I've struggled with the most. I love the supply chain. I love doing stuff like this. I love learning about the finance, every other aspect, even the nitty-gritty, tedious things I enjoy, but posting on social media, which should be the most fun, right? It's making a video and posting it. For some reason,
it is not only posting videos,
right,
by the way.
There's a lot to it. People don't realize.
You are going to be in for a surprise next semester.
I know. I'm excited.
She'll be learning social media from the master, from WP Carey.
Yes,
so you'll have a course in digital marketing, and you'll also have a course in sales and operation planning, which is, I believe you like that supply chain stuff.
Yeah.
So for all the folks who are watching this, many of them are students, many of them are entrepreneurs, wannabe entrepreneurs, and they're saying that I want to do something, but I don't have the degree, or I don't have the business background. What would you tell them to do?
You can still do it. Go talk to people. Every person, especially if you're a student, you are in an environment where people want to help you. Go ask someone for advice and for help. Don't go to them and say, hey, start this for me, do this for me. Go to someone in Venture Devils, in your ASU resources. If you work somewhere, go to your boss. Go to someone with experience in a field you want to be in. Even, I think this can even work if you're not in entrepreneurship. If you want to go become a doctor, go find a doctor to talk to. Then go to them and ask for advice, ask to intern for them, ask to follow them. People want to help students. People want to help you. People want to give advice. It makes them feel good. It does. And it's a wonderful thing. That's how, like, favors, the world goes around. So that's the best advice I could give is go get started and talk to someone who's in a place you want to be or in a field you want to be in, and ask them to mentor you and see what, or if they can't and they're too busy, ask if for a reference for someone who can mentor you, because they'll help and you'll learn the most by doing it.
Folks, there you have it. Go do it, right? Don't think about it. Just go do it so that you don't have regrets. Kate, absolutely a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much.
And all the best for your future.
Thank you so much.
And let's find out how quickly you become a unicorn.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully, right? Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We will get there. Not if, when.
Yes,
and
we'll
sooner
get there.
rather than better. So thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.